Hello, everybody. Shalom. Good morning. It is Thursday, and it's towards the end of the month, and I realize I have not done a Gumroad content thing for the fan zone, and I should probably do that. I mentioned last stream that I had something in mind for Gumroad content, but I did not have a chance to get to it on the weekend. Yesterday, I received a payment from the great state of Israel. Here we have a little contribution that I received, a little care package, two business cards from the Jewish Preservation. Well, the full title is Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership. It says here, Jews knows what it's like to be forcibly disarmed. Jews understand that entire populations are at risk. Jews have been through what gun owners rightly fear and have sworn a sacred oath never again. So, a libertarian Jewish guy who went to Israel sent me a message from Tel Aviv, and he said, "Hey Josh, I'm in Tel Aviv. Do you want anything?" And I said, "Yes, actually, I do. I want you to find me a silver coin." So I sent him a list, and what I expected was actually, I'll just pull this up on the Mista right here. What I expected him to send me was one of these old 19 like colonial Palestinian mandate mills, they're called, that the English printed. But actually, once Israel was independent after the war, they would mint only. Israel has never had silver currency, which is a bit strange because they were, before the 70s, so they would have a reason to have silver currency, but they never did. However, every so often they would make a commemorative, like once a year they would have a commemorative coin that comes out that's either like it got worse over time. Like it was pure silver to begin with, but they degraded it down to about 50% silver, and I think the other half is copper. So I got one of these. This is the 1974 Hanukkah coin, and I will show you for whatever reason I did not think to print the reverse of this coin when I took this picture. But this is the other side. It has I think it's called the Knesset, and that is the seven-sided menorah. The fun Jew fact for you before we get into our hate meme handbook here is that apparently there's a weird thing where the menorahs that Jews have in their home have different numbers of arms than the menorahs in temple. The menorah in the temple has, I think, 9, and the ones that they have at home have 7. Uh, yeah, that sounds right. And that's because a menorah can't be a menorah of 9 arms unless it's in the temple. It's very, very strange. But I had a discussion about this because of the coin that I was sent. By the way, I did the math because it's 20 grams exactly, and it's half silver. That is 10 grams of silver. However, this other coin that I happen to have in my collection is, and this is very easy to remember. The 5 Reichsmark has, I think 12 and a half grams of pure silver because it's 900 silver, 90% silver, and it's 13.88 grams. So 1388, very easy number to remember when you're doing that math. So that on the left is much smaller, but it has a little bit more silver, just as a food for thought. Now that I have received my 10 grams of silver, I can get into covering the material that I know everybody would be interested in, and that is the European Union's hate speech handbook to memes. This was put out by a thing, I don't know what to even call this. It's called TextGain, and I kind of did a little bit of research into this, but TextGain did a poll saying we're going to do a Safer Internet Day 2022 presentation. What do you want us to talk about? 7 people voted in this, and 3 of them voted for emojis and hate speech, and then I used 2 lightning bolts, which I can only assume references Harry Potter, and we all know that Harry Potter is a horrific turf meme, which is hate speech against transphobes. So when you see the double lightning bolt, you know that's a Harry Potter extremist who is extremely anti-trans. Okay, Ninder does not want to load, but luckily I pulled up all the other things. I looked at the intro. This is the cover page. It's like a bright red with white, and it's kind of like the swastika flag, the partai flag, but the red's a little bit off. It's like pinkish, which I don't understand what that's for. Um, the design is made by this Belgian guy who is not notable, but I did pull up the three who actually composed the. Oh, there's four. I didn't even see this one down here because he only has a little credit. Let me pull it up now. But this is one of the authors. She's German. Uh, she is a woman. I actually checked this out because I could not tell if she was just Jewish or a woman. I'm pretty sure she's Jewish. I could be wrong. But she is, as they credit here, an academic researcher, University of Hildesheim, Master's in Linguistics, PhD in Media Linguistics and Specialized Communications. And she has given a lot of lectures, actually, at various German universities regarding social sciences. So, in case you're wondering what a social scientist looks like, here you go. This is Tom de Schmet. He is, it's credited here. He's the top credited. St. Lucas School of Arts from Antwerp, a master's in audiovisual arts and bachelor's in software engineering, PhD in arts. And that's interesting because this TextGain is like a machine learning company, and all the people involved, except for Sylvia Jackie, are because she's the only woman, are involved in machine learning stuff. So this is Tom de Schmet from the Netherlands. Government Communication, European Commission, Ghent University, and then some shit in I don't know. Is he? Oh, Antwerp. Is that in Belgium? Am I like a retard? Antwerp. We're gonna figure out if Antwerp is in. Oh, it's in Belgium. Okay, so he's Belgian. Sorry, Dutch people screaming at me through their computers. I did not mean to defame your glorious country. And then this guy, Oliver Kahlbergs, using AI for social good. That is the scariest fucking sentence on the planet. Everyone says, "Oh, China's so dystopic because you have cameras that like track your faces and know where you're going." Yeah, well, in the West, we have computers that evaluate your memes for hate speech because we're fucking psychotic. He works for the EU. He's a part of their expert pool. It says here, TextGain master's student in terrorism and political violence at the St. Andrews and former law enforcement officer. Former law enforcement. He's a cop. He's literally a Fed that made this TextGain that says AI that reads between the lines. So there you go with that. Very fascinating. Tech startup specifically designed to start determining if you are actually being racist without being openly racist. We empower organizations working to make a genuine difference for society by developing trustworthy, transparent, and explainable human-centered AI solutions that read and understand large amounts of text. Founded or funded by the European Commission, the EU central organization. The Commission is a weird word because the EC is like the head of the European Union. It's like the federal government as far as the EU is concerned, but it sounds like a company. Um, Multi-platform hate speech monitoring in 24 languages. Wonderful, wonderful. This is exact. Thank you, Europe. I'm so glad that we liberated Europe so that they could spy on us with their machine learning. Oh, and this last guy I did not pull up before. Let me see if I can just find something on him real quick. They usually have social media. Oh, he's also Belgian. We need to nuke Belgium. I can't think of a single thing in Belgium worth preserving. I'm trying real hard to think of a single thing. I've never had Belgian waffles, but it's just like waffles covered in chocolate. I'm pretty sure that every country has those. He's an engineer at TextGain. I found his I'll just pull this up. This is like a portfolio website, I guess. It's from Brussels. Backend dev, data science, data collection, Java, Python. Masters of artificial intelligence. So these people are dead set. They're going to make a computer that reads everything that you post on the internet, and it's going to make automatic, real-time decisions on if what you're saying is sufficiently hateful in a non-direct way. And if it says that you are being hateful, you probably won't even get a notification that it's identified your content as hateful. You probably will see it posted and you'll think, haha, I made a funny meme. and then nobody will like or reply or comment on or retweet your meme, and you'll think, oh, I guess my meme wasn't that funny. And that's exactly how they're going to try and control um, the proliferation of what they consider extremist content, because you think, oh, nobody's interested in what I have to say, nobody thinks that what I say is funny, um, so I'm just not going to I'm not going to bother anymore. But the reality is that nobody ever saw it because TextGain made a autonomous decision that it's hateful and nobody should get to see it. But they're not going to tell you that unless they decide that you're gonna get arrested. So with that in mind, let's see what these geniuses put together. I'm sure that this is just a scam. I'm sure that like they don't give a fuck about any of this as far as like this handbook goes, and it's just like we need to show the European Union that we deserve funding for our bullshit. So we're gonna like slap this together. We're gonna get uh my buddy Tom from Antwerp to slap together this bullshit, and maybe get Sylvia Jackie to write some shit, and we'll just call it a day. So forward. This is mostly images from what I've seen, and the text is limited. Forward, hate memes as early warning signs. Hateful thoughts about others and often strong visual frames that carry them have been described for centuries in human history. In more recent times, the Second World War and the Holocaust loom large as an extreme outgrowth of hateful thoughts and action. Although the origins of this mass violence lie in a complex interplay of actors and factors that bring it from idea to deed, an ever-present element is precisely this hateful, framing the other. Those who are not like us have different ideas, different behavior, different values, different culture, different religion, and above all, look different to us. The historical archives of the fields of Holocaust, genocide, and terrorism studies are full of stereotypical and toxic images of the other. In study of totalitarianism, it is striking how strategically a toxically polarized image culture is used to set groups against each other. The common thread here is extensive use of modern information and communication technologies. What characterized the Nazis was not so much the old, often anti-Semitic forms of conspiracy thinking and bloody fairy tales, but the fact that they deliberately succeeded in bringing their highly intuitive and emotional visual frames to the attention of specific target groups in appropriate guises. Nazis turned out to be the marketers of hate avant la lettre. Age-old hate messages were presented in new visual frames through new channels with never-increasing reach: visual, newspaper, radio, and films. That is a reference to Triumph of Will, which I've not seen. I meant to see it, and I know for a fact. And this is, you may not know this, if you're not a film person. And I'm not really a film person myself, but just for funsies, be prepared song. I want to show you guys one thing real quick. This is from The Lion King. You probably heard. Why is there an ad? Do I not have ad blocker installed? Why does this not work? Oh, it's disabled. Your ad. Oh, because I installed like 4 different ad blockers. That's why. In my desperate attempt to get rid of an advertisement on something I was watching. Anyways, it's this part right here.
Of course, quid pro quo, you're expected to take certain duties on board. The future is littered with prizes, and though I remain addressee,
look, I found a version that puts over the song, over the footage from the movie.
we are talking king.
It's basically the exact same thing.
Is littered with prizes, and though I remain.
Now, this is what they're referring to, is that people don't even know this. Actually, racism plays an important role in filmography, because before this even, in the 1915, there was a movie called The Birth of a Nation, which was put up by the KKK, and that's actually the reason why the KKK became so big, is that this movie defined the traditional act structure of a film that's still used in films today. It was a massive success. It basically redefined filmography. Its influence is literally still seen in movies, in contemporary movies. And what's funny, I see down here, is that 93% of people on Rotten Tomatoes said that it was a good movie, but 29% of people like this movie from Google users. So I don't know what's going on with Rotten Tomatoes, but you know what? Actually, I think the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes are only the professional reviews, but because they only accept like contemporary review or like for old movies, they only accept movies that were or reviews that were made at the time. Like all the reviews that came out at the time were like, "Holy shit, this is like the best movie ever made." So that's why Rotten Tomatoes probably thinks that it has such a high score. Whatever. This is all an aside. It's all spurging about stupid shit. Uh, Christopher Bush continues. Since the Holocaust and more recent genocides, many researchers have theorized focus on mechanisms such as dehumanization or toxification as an early warning sign for collective violence. The dehumanization, denial of humanity of an individual places the victim outside the moral universe of human interactions. It is a moral scheme or belief that can harm victims with moral exclusions to extreme violence as a possible consequence. This is so wordy. Okay, in terms of content, we distinguish animalistic dehumanization, comparisons with animals such as rats or cockroaches, from mechanistic dehumanization, comparisons with autonoma objects or cargo. What the fuck does that mean? When you call someone an object, I guess women get objectified. Is it clear that such schemata which we notice even a neurological research influence on the way people think and act, but although dehumanization is widespread, it does not always lead directly to violence. I'll skip ahead to the conclusion for this so I can get into it. It is therefore absolutely necessary to keep one's finger on the pulse for the new avenues of visual hate messages. The hate meme selected here should therefore be regarded as early warning signs, warning us to take preventative action before a dangerous toxicity has set in, just as we were able to notice numerous warning signs in the past. Most people sleepwalk past them. This time, it is high time to thoroughly invest in learning from the past and taking responsibility for the future. This guy would benefit from not being so wordy. They have an entire chapter here. What are memes? Memes are popular images that spread in social media. What's funny is that's wrong. Like it doesn't explain that a meme comes from Darwin. Darwin posited that memes were analogous to for ideas as genes were to animals. Successful genes would pass on and evolve, and successful ideas would pass on and evolve. Someone makes a meme template that is very successful and it gets used all over the place, and then it changes over time. What are hate memes? Specific targets such as refugees, people of color in developing countries, people with disabilities, poor people, gay people. Comparisons, a movie villain placed next to a political target. How many different times has Trump been compared to a fucking movie, like a Voldemort or whatever? Is that a hate meme? Just explains that that's part of dehumanization. Why do people post them? People that post hate memes want to define an in group and an out group. I think people post them because they're funny. Malicious actors knowingly spread propaganda to push the boundaries of what is considered socially acceptable or normal, purposefully injecting anger, doubt, discord, and disinformation into well-intended discussions. They overthink this. It's literally that it's funny and that it's offensive. Why do they do this? People do it for money. Yeah, there's not a lot of money in the hate meme market, in case you didn't know. This is really stupid. They want confirmation and admiration. Why are hate memes successful? Drive our existential fears and doubts, evoking strong emotional reaction. Barbaric hordes of immigrants are coming to rape your wife. Bloodthirsty Muslim terrorists are going to bomb your house. Greedy Jewish bankers with space lasers will steal your money. I like how these are like realistic, down to earth. This is what people actually say. Bloodthirsty Muslim terrorists are going to bomb your house. Yeah, that's also like a thing that happens, like in real life. That's what actually happens. And then this greedy Jewish bankers with space lasers will steal your money. Are you sure you don't want to word that in a way that's what's actually reflective of what people are saying, or do you just not want people to know that the Jews control an inordinate amount of media and banking, and you're just going to throw in space lasers there to make it? That's very funny when you compare it directly to the other statements. Pedophile professors and politicians controlled by alien reptilians want to snatch your children for satanic rituals. That's also just complete bullshit. But then again, I guess they're professors at universities, so they can't say that they're pushing HRT to turn kids gay. Evil Ukrainian Nazis are secretly building nukes to destroy their own population. This is just retarded now. This is like not like if this is what they're telling normies about what people are saying on the internet, then they're just lying themselves. What am I expecting? Only a handful of strong, honest, God-fearing white men like Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin stand in their way, and they need your support and coincidentally your money. I don't think anybody's sending money to Vladimir Putin, except the Germans. They're sending a lot of money to keep the lights on, from what I understand. So maybe we should check out the German Parliament, see what kind of money, what kind of hate memes they're posting. I bet you if you check their social media, they're posting all sorts of hate memes about how Greece wants all the natural gas, but actually it's rightful German gas. If this sounds absurd, consider that hate memes are often not meant to convince you, but to upset you, making rational debate impossible, relying on subtle fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They create sides, fuel polarization, and drive people into the fold of strong leaders who will do what is necessary to right the absurdities. That's just wrong, though. Like, nobody ever posits like a leader. Nobody really thinks that, oh, my country would be so much better if Vladimir Putin ran it. I don't even think a lot of poll wants to vote for Trump again because he sold out on the Jan 6 protesters. This technique is unfortunately quite effective in convincing people with limited access to high quality information and education, highlighting the need for more media literacy and digital resilience education in school. So we need more. Don't believe what you see in school. We need more brainwashing and limited access to high quality information. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, everything is geared towards a specific narrative. What the fuck is this down here? There's one citation so far. I guess they're quoting that people who don't have access to high quality information are the ones who are brainwashed. Hate memes have no regard for facts. They're supposed to be funny. Why should I care? People ask. Okay, here we go. Most people just want a full belly, a warm bed, and a productive job with good friends. Very few people desire societal turmoil and violence in the streets. In criminality, social control theory proposes the best way to ensure peace and quiet is to include everyone. People are unlikely to commit crimes if they fear losing their warm bed, good job, or network of family and friends. If everyone is included, has jobs and friends, society ideally self-regulates itself. Unfortunately, not everyone is included, or feels that they are being included, and that their authoritarian fantasies are being properly worshipped. Such outcasts, by circumstance or by self-perception, are more vulnerable to a strong sense of victimhood and radicalization. I don't know. I was excised from society because I can't, like, put ads on my website because people on the website say things they don't like. That was the start of where I became... I started doubting what I was told. Because it's just like, there's no reason why I should be treated like this when I don't break the law. And after that, it was like a slippery slope. So I don't know. I don't feel like that's my fault, though. People should be allowed to say what they want. This entire thing is like, people should not be allowed to say what they want because it directly makes sure that the Jews can't use space lasers to steal your money. To oppose the system, they embrace a new reality of ideological melancholy tied together by alternative facts and hard truths, e.g., only the strong survive, which is true, and promote radical change centered around a hierarchical power structure that only their in-group is strong enough to lead. I think most people just want to be left alone. This mythicism creates a simmering societal tensions that can suddenly ignite somewhere in the future. Democracies are careful balancing acts between lesser evils to achieve greater goods, and the balance is easy to upset. One example relevant to the 2020s is the EU's need for Russian gas, well, no shit, while also enduring online Russian I don't think that's the real issue there. One example relevant to the 2020s is the EU's need for Russian gas while also enduring online Russian disinformation campaigns and election meddling. So when a saber-rattling autocrat simmering version of a new Russia abruptly blazes up, millions of ordinary people were instantly forced to pick sides and worry about unheated homes during the ensuing Russian-Ukrainian war. But pro-Russia propaganda had already been circulating online for years to influence Russian public opinion, showing how hate memes can be weaponized by extremists seeking to spread their ideas and lure people into a web of disinformation. That makes no fucking sense. Like, yeah, people, like, this is just blame shifting. It's like, oh, it's our fault. Like, people told Germany and Merkel especially, because Merkel shut down all the power in Germany. She got rid of all the nuclear power plants, or she didn't get rid of them, but she stopped building new ones, and they focused on like the windmills and shit. And people told Germany that their reliance on Russian gas would be a problem if anything ever happened with Russia. And they just said, well, we want to appease all the ecologically concerned voters in Germany. And we don't want to build new nuclear power plants because that's scary to people for whatever reason. So we're just going to ignore this. And then, surprise, when there's an issue and the EU is trying to boycott Russia, they can't because they're reliant on this fucking gas that they need. It's like, that's not an issue of hate memes on the fucking internet. That's an issue with your government being pandering simps that can't make difficult decisions or make bad ones. Okay, so I'll read this and then I'll skip this because this is all bullshit. What can I do? When someone goes down the rabbit hole of online disinformation and radicalization, it's very hard to change their mind. In short, it is better not to stand up to them on your own unless you know how to protect your identity. The trolls are simply better organized and more experienced. They might bully or intimidate you and possibly correct your personal information for further malice, aka doxing. Also, they spelled it right. They spelled it with one X. Congratulations, Sylvia Jockey or whatever the fuck. Who knows what list your name will end up on? However, this self-preservation reflex effectively creates a silent majority immobilized by fear, where people stand by and watch online bullies and unstable world leaders trash the place, not unlike a frog in a pot slowly being cooked to boiling temperature. That's a very awkward way to phrase that. Because if you just super awkward. Because the frog in the boiling water thing is like a right wing talking point. One thing we can do is stand up together. Strength in numbers can impress a troll on the level of their understanding of the world and get attention of policymakers. Some examples of well-established initiatives are the No Hate Speech, Get the Trolls Out, Ich Bin Here, Jesus La, Strong Cities, European Digital whatever. Oh, and the European Observatory of Online Hate, which bought this document. That's a great example of standing up together. Though that doesn't, like, okay, if someone's trolling and they're posting Nazi shit on your forum and you all decide to stand up together and give them attention, like, he's just going to keep trolling. That's why we have to ban it. That's why we need people to just say, fuck your speech, boy. Get out of here. Oh, they do explain Richard Dawkins. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, Richard Dawkins, not the other guy. Whatever. Why the left can't meme? Okay, I'll read this. The left can't meme is a social media proverb criticizing political memes created by left-wing internet users. Lowercase I internet points off for that. Left-wing memes are frequently mocked for being lame decoctions of right-wing memes being too politically correct or woke and lacking humor. Right-wing internet users incorporate these observations into new memes to further emphasize that the left can't meme. Dana Young was so intrigued by this dynamic that she went in search of the meaning behind the proverbs. In her book, Irony and Outrage, she concluded that the tolerance for ambiguity in social discussions on left-wing spectrum is the main cause. She shares that people on the political left are more likely to see a situation as a gray zone, whereas people on the political right are more likely to see it as black and white. Due to the limited room for text and short attention spans on social media, such successful memes are anything but ambiguous and leave no room for nuance. Left-wing internet users deviate from successful formula memes, which is to be to the point, simple, recognizable, and fast. That's because you have to, like, I mean, that's literally saying that it's true, though. Left-wing memes are frequently mocked for being lame decoctions of right-wing memes, being too politically correct and lacking humor. Because when they make a point, they have to explain with full paragraphs why black violence is higher because of like bullshit societal economical reasons, and it's like that doesn't make any sense. But the right wing meme is black people are violent. LMAO bottom text, and that's it. Other observers have attributed to the failure of left wing political correctness and the lack of a humorous component. Left wing memes are less transgressive and less appealing to the edgy internet culture as a result. Put simply, they are boring. That's true. The meme factory ecosystems may hold the key to understanding why right wing memes have a wider reach. Like this is like just proving the point. They're lame decoctions of right wing memes, and they're like, we must study the right wing memes to decoct them correctly. Like, come on. Uh, Left wing memers primarily organize on mainstream social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Right wing meme organize in private and or anonymously on 4chan, Reddit, Telegram, Discord, and so on. Because they're banned everywhere else. They would probably post on Twitter too if they could. Researchers from the Online College London examined 106 or University College London. That's a stupid name. University College London. The fuck does that mean? Examined 160 million hate memes and found that the majority originated on 4chan and Reddit, e.g., R the Donald, which has been banned for years, since before this came out. In these more secluded places, memes are not only shared and verified or vetted, but also behave like in-group genes. Uh, After being stolen, Pepe went through several transformations, blah, blah. Unlike Reddit, which hosts divisive political viewpoints in its channels, 4chan can be seen as a far-right echo chamber filled with extremist language and memes. I mean, nothing stops a lefty from posting there. The perpetrators of the terrorist attacks in Christchurch, Poway, and El Paso all announced their actions on 4chan in 2019, which is wrong. Brendan Tarrant posted on 8chan, but I wouldn't expect a journo or someone with a master's degree in whatever social science bullshit to do something like look something up before saying it's true. Unmoderated and anonymous forums like 4chan are the linchpin and effective organizational structure of the far-right internet users. Oh god, they have a whole fucking paragraph on why the left can't meme. Why are hate memes not removed? Oh, this is great. The AI-driven content moderation process of social media platforms have come a long way. In 2016, only about 40% of hateful content was reviewed within 24 hours after being first reported. Given the fast pace on social media, that is a drop in the ocean. Content posted 24 hours ago will barely get any attention anymore. As such, speed has become the key in removing hateful content. The evaluation of the moderation process has led to the European Code of Conduct on countering hate speech online in 2018, a commitment of big social media platforms to counter the spread of illegal hate speech and establish rules or community guidelines that clarify the prohibit the promotion of violence of hate. The Code of Conduct, the COC, has proven a merit. After signing the COC, Instagram now reviews 2/3 of reported content within 24 hours, assisted by AI. This matters. With Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter cracking down on terrorists that use their platforms to spread militant propaganda, ISIS supporters, for example, have turned to photo sharing app where stories disappear for 24 hours, which is exploited to circumvent content moderation and promote propaganda. Social media platforms still struggle to catch up with the dynamic and rapidly evolving cultural online language of a generation of digital natives. A recent technique, which just says that boomers can't, figure out what the fuck those damn kids are saying. Recent technique used to circumvent AI-based content moderation is the inclusion of emoji in extremist propaganda. By placing emojis in a subtle position on top of an image, the content moderation algorithm may not be able to scan enough of the image to match it to a database of extremist logos and symbols. The masking emoji is typically chosen so that the message is still clear and sometimes even amplified to that outgroup. And this is just them talking about, oh my god, there's emoji decoder here. Frog emoji, used to represent Pepe, the frog. Evergreen tree, used to represent Nordic roots. High voltage sign used to represent Harry Potter. Index pointing up used to represent the ISIS salute. OK hand sign used to represent white power. Glass of milk used to represent white supremacy. Coconut used to scorn moderate Muslims. What? Monkey face used to scorn Africans and sports. And crossmark used to signal QAnon support. Okay, here's our first. We're finally to the memes. We're in the meme zone. Page 8 of 117. Let's do this. Projection of power. When men with power are left unchallenged to project their power into photo ops of physical strength, virility, and sagacity. That's a new word. The results can be bizarre. We see them caressing, fondling mysterious glowing orbs, gallantly riding horses across dramatic nature scenery like in the good old days, posing as sunglass action heroes in front of heavy weapons, solving an unchallenged Rubik's Cube together, or waving country flags while dangling from zip lines. That just sounds like good fun. What the fuck? Is this like supposed to be like a like that? Okay, Macron and Trudeau hugging each other like gay homos does not like show power to me. That people post this because they're silly. Look at him. Look at him on that fucking horse. That is not. Look at the horse's tongue dangling out. That is not an imposing man. That is a fat man who paid to ride a horse. Everybody made fun of the fucking Vladimir Putin topless horse shit. That's just Trump doing like his thing. He always looks like that. This is so stupid. This is such a weak entry into this. Like, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to ban this photo of Trump and the Saudi guy holding that creepy glowing orb? What is this hate? What is the out group in this? What out group exists between the Trump, the Saudi Arabian guy, and whoever the fuck that is? I think it was the guy from Israel, even the prime minister. Like, who's the out group in this? Who's not accepted in this picture? This is one of the most multicultural, wholesome, big chunkiest pictures on the planet. Everybody's included in this. Sent by God, and then they post a bunch of cringe ass shit. Christian evangelicals in the U.S. believe Donald Trump was sent by God as his chosen one to fight the corruption of the deep state. This narrative is part of the Great Awakening, QAnon, and conspiracy theory. Yeah, this is all cringe. I agree. This should be banned. Glowing eyes. The glowing eyes meme consists of photoshopped lens flare or halo effect on the eyes of public figures used to express support by fans, implying that the person is depicted as a superhero. It's usually accompanied by the slogan, "I'm growing stronger." Okay. How is this a hate meme though? Like, you could put this on anyone. It's just that people don't put it on people like Merkel because she doesn't come across as very strong. I mean, that one's like a violent one, but that's stupid. Electric Pence. Okay, this one is definitely is kind of a hate meme, I guess, because it's like he wants to shock the gays. Sharpie. What? The Sharpie meme originates from an incident where Donald Trump, as president, corrected the weather chart showing the trajectory of Hurricane Dorian. He had previously claimed that it would pass through Alabama, which wasn't the case, so he corrected the chart with a Sharpie. The meme comes in many very. How is this a hate meme? This like, who does this hate? This hates Trump. Trump centaur pig. The original photo displays a sculpture from Chinese artist who creates a grotesque human-animal hybrids. The head of Donald Trump has been photoshopped onto the sculpture with a proud facial expression. This dehumanizing combination suggests that Trump is a fat, haughty pig. Hashtag ridicule. I am baffled by this. What the fuck is this supposed to tell me? Imagine, this is proof that nobody at the European Commission even like looked through this. Like, you get numbers. This is at the front. This is like the best shit, right? So you're looking at number 6. You're thinking we got to stop the Trump centaur pig meme because it dehumanizes Trump as a pig. But this is like a left wing meme, right? So what? It combats hate. Isn't Trump bad? Diaper Don. So this is Trump in diapers. Oh, they only show. Oh, this is great. So Out of all, okay, Biden Vietnam napalm pedophilia, the iconic black and white napalm girl edited to show 2020 presidential candidate Joe Biden grabbing and kissing one of the screaming children from behind. Pedophilia claims targeting Biden come in many variations as part of the QAnon conspiracy theory. Alleges that children are being sodomized in secret underground tunnels by Democrat politicians. So, out of all the pictures that they use for this, they picked a photoshopped one, not the one where he's actually smelling this girl and she's like screaming in terror. And there's so many of them. You could fill up a page of real photos of Biden smelling children, and they went with the one fake one. No lives matter. On May 25th, 2020, an American black man named George Floyd was choked to death during his arrest. That is not true. He literally did not die of suffocation. The turbulent protests against police brutality that ensued are generally seen as part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, so because this is parroting Black Lives Matter in any way. It is therefore a hate meme, even if it's like nihilist and not directed at any. There, like again, this is another thing where like we have to emphasize that there's an in group and an out group. It's about dehumanization. Well, no lives matter is completely inclusive. It's collectively saying that nobody's life matters. So who the fuck is this discriminating against? It's such a shit, whatever the fuck, mittens. Bernie Sanders was picture was taken. The image stood in stark contrast with formal dark suits worn during Capitol Hill that day. It went viral. So mittens hashtag ridicule. It it went viral on the left because this was because like the left was like, oh, look at how upset he is at the corruption in the Democratic Party that he didn't stand a chance against their favorites, Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. This has nothing to do with extremism. This is people who are like upset that democracy wasn't working on the left, even. Four Seasons Total Landscaping VR. The Trump campaign ended up holding a bizarre press conference at the Four Seasons. How is this a hate meme? They recreated it in VR chat as a furry hangout, and that's like a hate. Oh, he's dead now. Very sad. In the wake of QAnon conspiracies, saving children from pedophile signings, forced vaccinations, weaken woke government, etc., has become a popular conspiracy trope. The image depicts a high-quality photo montage of a scalped child, presumably being subjected to government-forced vaccination. He didn't even credit the guy who made this, and they have no idea that Deez. They even cut out the attribution. What fucking assholes! Deez is dead. And he had been making these images for decades. Like he's an OG schizo, and they're just gonna like cut off his attribution, not mention it. Like no respect at all for the guy. George Soros, Hungarian-born U.S. billionaire. Oh, he's Hungarian. That's why people hate him. Hungarian-born U.S. billionaire George Soros is a Holocaust survivor and despised by the far right for funding liberal causes for years. Viktor Orban has been criticizing for fanning the flames of hatred. So they're not going to explain that George Soros was an informant. He like according to his own story, he told the SS who other Jews were. He was one of the people helping out at the camp as like an informant. He was basically a Randall at a Holocaust camp, according to his own retelling of the story. But this is a hate meme. This is all reptilians. QAnon hoax. Like this is also bizarre. Who is the other in this? Just the political elite? Reptilians refer to a conspiracy theory by David Icke, who claims that shape-shifting reptilian aliens. Like this is a joke. This is not real. People do not actually believe this. Besides David Icke, who is like a retard. They create They create religious, ethnic, and sexual division to keep humanity in a constant state of fear and chaos. Some reptilians include Rothschild's family, the Bush family, and the British royal family. Queen Elizabeth, not Queen Lizzie. I'm actually shocked by how dumb this is. The all-seeing eye is not even. It's like the Jews. How does this really? The all-seeing eye is from the Illuminati. Jews weren't involved at all. The Illuminati, New World Order, authoritarian government that will fulfill a biblical end time before the final battle between the Messiah and Satan. Okay. The Great Reset. Okay, this is actually like a conspiracy hate thing that's relevant and real. Oh, hashtag Jews again. The Great Reset is a conspiracy theory in which a secret elites, the New World Order or NWO, are subduing the world population into sheeple. For example, by replacing indigenous people by immigrants and stripping nations of their identity. Or through forced vaccination with alleged mind control and nanotechnology. Popular targets include Klaus Schwab, George Soros, Bill Gates, the Rothschild family, Joe Biden, Greta Thunberg, Pope Francis, Black Lives Matter, and so on. Popular dog whistles embedded in such memes include all the seeing eyes. Like, they don't even explain, like, what it means. Nuremberg 2.0. Okay, because this is like what needs to happen to the Great Reset, right? I'm gonna skim through this. This is really stupid. Dark Enlightenment, Dark Enlightenment, or neo-reactionary movement is an opaque anti-democracy philosophy coined by Nick Land, rooted in postmodern ideas by left-wing thinkers such as John. Posits idea that reality is a social contract. Uh, Ideas such as Julius Evola, who promoted traditional gender roles and authoritarian rule. Well, Evola is a monarchist. He believes that monarchy was ordained by God. But the question is, if monarchy is ordained by God, why did it fall? Fascist ideology. Based. Okay, are we at like a title card? Base. When you agree with something, when you want to recognize. So the word base is in a title card all by itself. When you agree with something or when you want to recognize someone for being themselves, i.e., courageous and unique or not caring what others think. Yeah, that sounds about right. The Cross of Lorraine. French fascism. Okay. So these are just like hate symbols. Anti-vax grassroots movement. The Mars voor de Vrijheid March for Freedom was an anti-vaccination, anti-government protest in Brussels in November 2021. Okay. Like, why are people not allowed to protest shit? Protesting shit is like a fundamental part of the Constitution of free speech. Why are people not allowed to assemble and say we don't want to be forced to vaccinate? Identitarian movement. This is just cringe. I don't trust any of these people. The Identitarian movement is a pan-European far-right ideology, nationalist metapolitics strategy rooted in the worldview of Renaud Camus. Okay. So these are, I'm just gonna skip the hate symbols. I know what the fuck this is. This is the Nordic people. The Goyim no. Patriot Front. I guess they are fascists. They have the fascists. This is Dutch, which I guess is like their nationalist movement. Team Jürgen. Well, good luck being fucking German nationalist. Comparing people to animals. Like the number 6, the Trump pig one, is also present here. Why does this need its own card? Comparing people to creepy fictional non-human creatures is an age-old dehumanization tactic used to detach and ridicule individuals from ideas they promote or to target outgroups as subhuman. Yeah. Your children will thank you. Pandemic anti-vax propaganda. I'm actually shocked by how poorly organized this is. It's also very Dutch centric. Like his Nazi armband has the X's, which if you were only reading this guide, you would assume that has something to do with QAnon. But those are the from the flag of Amsterdam. So he's someone from Amsterdam, and they use that for like the swastika armband. But it's like you have all this different shit that's like spread apart, and there's no clear communication of what the themes are. Like even though that these people are PhDs who are studying hate memes and are trying to articulate what it is and trying to train robots to identify what it is, they completely fail to really compile their information in a way that's understandable. And it's strange when they like just stop like numbering. Like this is just a random picture of the fish man. I forget his name. The Brexit guy. And it just has a picture of migrants and said this is the breaking point. And it's like, okay, is that hateful? Or is it saying like we need to kill these people? It's like, no. Tyrone, okay, this is a hate meme, I guess. Tyrone presents a demeaning stereotype of an African American male. This crudely drawn a picture of a man of color. That's funny. I don't think this is probably the first time ever that Tyrone has been described as a man of color. Um, a character looks extremely happy to the point of being intoxicated, hinted at by the character's diverging eye pupils. The accompanying text says shit, an elongated version of shit. Tyrone typically features as a character in memes where his stupidity is his demise, promoting the idea that black people are degenerate, unintelligent, and uneducated. Speaking of, I found this video, which I thought was really, really funny. I'll play it for you now.
Up the dude in the promo, dub, big that tongue, motherfucker. Big Snoop, how about the pole, motherfucker?
Completely indistinguishable from the real thing. It's not a Tyrone, but it's very similar. I think this drawing is based off of one of A. White Man's other caricatures. Martin Luther King. I mean, I've never even seen this before. It can't possibly be that much of a popular hate meme, a looming threat to society. I'm not racist. This is like a left meme, I guess. I'm not racist. I have foreign looking friend or alternative. Um, which is used in all areas of society around the world to justify that one is not bigoted or racist. The phrase has also been called a common claim of innocence by association. It is often used by white supremacists to claim that they are not racist towards a certain. Oh, so it is an anti-right thing. Okay, I got you. Some people find it funny to blatantly refer to their friend as the mandatory nigger. Many hate memes use the phrase sarcastically and twist the original message to clearly state a racist claim disguised as a joke. Oh, this is the only instance of that where it's like actually like racist. I'm not racism. Racism is a. I'm not racist. Racism is a crime, and crime is for black people. We go and get. This is also wrong. The black kid dancing is just like a success kid meme because they're just like poor kids from like an African tribe, and he's dancing and he looks really happy. So people put all sorts of captions. It's not like if the like this is just how bad this is going to be if they do implement this. Is that they're going to see these memes and they're going to think, oh my god, this picture of a bunch of black kids dancing and smiling is racist, inherently racist. So anytime this picture is seen, just ban the user for posting a hate meme because it's about we going to get free money and not like anything else. And I've seen this 1,000 times on places like Imager. It's not a hate meme. This is fucking stupid. Got some more water. All this reading. It's gonna be the end of me, chat. Well, not chat. Fake chat. Monkey and Africans on bike. Der klugste Fahrt. What does that mean? Der klugste Fahrt. The smartest drives. Oh, because the monkey's driving. That's funny. When they ask you to bring the snacks for the Black Lives Matter rally, you just get a giant shopping trolley full of bananas. This crude allegation to Black Lives Matter activists being people of color and people of color resembling monkeys and monkeys liking bananas. Thank you. I would never have figured that out without your explanation. Why does this get its own slide? This one meme. So what? Again, like, okay, what's your AI solution to this? You're gonna examine this text and you're gonna. I like the stock photo of bananas, by the way, because this is like a super low quality image and they blew it all the way up. It would just be like JPEG artifact hell. So like, we'll make it twice as big and then we'll add in bananas over here. So it's like, okay, so the AI is gonna look at this. The AI can easily scan the text. So it's going to say, when they ask you to bring the snacks to the Black Lives Matter rally, and then they're going to examine the image, and they're going to see white man. I don't like the bars. This is a low quality picture. We'll be able to say, oh, these are bananas. So it's like a banana, Black Lives Matter. That's a racist meme that can't be posted. Very bizarre. Stole a wheelchair. This is just like a racist boomer meme. Incest, illiteracy, and Islam. And this shows that incest, illiteracy, and Islam very much coincide, especially incest, because there's some weird thing with Islam, and I could be wrong about this, but from what I remember, the reason why incest is so high in Muslim countries is that, and notice that it's very specifically Muslim countries, so the Christian countries and former French colonies doesn't. It's only in like northern Nigeria and then all of the MENA area. It's like where the incest is, and I think the reason for that is that in their society, you have to marry a specific kind of woman if it's to be like a good relationship. And the most sure, I can't remember exactly what the qualifier is, but the most surefire way of identifying that a woman is has that quality is that she's related to you. Because if you know that you have it, your family has it, and your cousin also has it, well then you might as well just marry your cousin and be 100% certain that that person is of that caste or whatever. I could be talking on my ass, but that's why. Which just shows that there is a correlation between Islam and incest, as far as I'm concerned. This is a Blink page, I guess. This is the Winged Hussars from Poland. I don't know what that has to do. Wrath of Ganon. Progress is the name moderns give to the destruction of what our ancestors nurtured. Okay. Oh, so he's like a memer. He's like a memer that does like, I'm gonna take an old oil painting of a naked lady and I'm gonna put something about race and I'm gonna post it on Twitter. And that'll just be my thing. Or I guess on Tumblr. The celebration of Weihnachten, Christmas. Oh no. That's scary. I hate when people celebrate Christmas. It makes me so scared. As a Jewish person of color, every time I see a Christmas tree, I just break out in hives. And it gives me gas. White nationalism, architecture, beauty, tradition, and heritage. So like the very concept of like appreciating old architecture from the classical era of European history is just forbidden, I guess. I mean, the Nazis did that. They put churches on their coins. Sorry, I'm thinking of coins again. I got distracted. Tradwives. Several academic studies touch upon the relationship between extremism and misogyny. For example, in the context of movements such as Men Going Their Own Way, far-right extremist movements such as the Proud Boys and Wolves of Vinland, or in the Salafi jihadist movements. All of these embrace a power structure with men that are seen as being powerful on top. Warriors, obedient and traditional wives below, trad wives, and further down, male enemies, the cucks, faggots, and snowflakes. Female enemies, the dumb bitches, the fat bitches, the cum dumpsters, the hysterical nutcases and sluts, and even further down, anyone with a different skin color our belief system. Degenerate nigger faggots, little Jewish sluts, etc. A popular visual strategy is the good old days trope, where pubescent women are depicted in traditional clothing and more preferably in no clothing at all, with flowery garlands and other neo pagan references. What I've always found really funny about this in particular is that no other people get this. Like, no other people are allowed to say, our women are beautiful. Nope. Whitey can't do that. If black people say, yes, queen, slay, that's fine. If women in Muslim countries celebrate their hijabs or whatever, that's fine. It's only white women that you can't say are nice. By the way, oh fuck it, I was gonna complain about all the yellow fever posting on 4chan. I'm pretty sure that's deliberate. Make Europe great again. We have all the diversity we need. Oh, this is hate speech now. A series of folkloristic images published by Europa Invicta that promote white supremacy. Glossy photos featured skilled editing such as vintage camera coloring and depth of field to construct an air of nostalgia, likely as a visual metaphor for the good old days when things were better, i.e. before immigration. True. Some images display historic or fictional works of grand architecture, presumably as a demonstration of white culture superiority. White women are typically portrayed in traditional dresses. Oh, with children. Oh my god. Babes with guns. So this isn't like submissive. Why is this hate speech? The far right is generally outspoken about the role of women in society. They should be sexually attractive, submissive, and function as baby warrior factories, particularly in toxic male-oriented movements such as the manosphere, men going their own way, Proud Boys, and incels. Often depictions will show them wearing... What the fuck does that have to do with guns? But there are exceptions for women brandishing firearms, which are glorified as strong and awake. There are constraints, though. The guns must be big, the women must be white, and they must be young, attractive, upbeat, chesty, and wearing tight-fitting clothes that reveal bodily features. That's not true at all. If you Google women with guns, like, there are gun clubs that use women for advertising because women, are great for selling shit, and they're wearing like hunting gear. They're not wearing like tight clothing. But I don't know, whatever. Viking compass, who gives a fuck? The Jew behind the curtain. That's a great picture. That's really skilled painting. Throughout history, Jewish people have been a popular scapegoat for anything and everything that goes awry, from being framed as satanic child eaters in the Middle Ages because they worship Moloch, to greedy bankers in Nazi Germany rhetoric because they were, to COVID-19 pandemic has seemingly rekindled with such sentiments that Jews secretly want to rule the world. That has been going on for much longer than COVID-19. Even in unexpected places such as the generally open-minded Dutch society, this image was found on social media account on the Netherlands, which has a more permissive regulation to posting fascistic content than, for example, Germany or Belgium. It shows the symbol Black Lives Matter, the anti-fascist, and the rainbow flag used by the LGBT community, with a derogatory depiction of a Jewish man picking between the flags. Note the exaggerated big nose and downcast eyebrows reminiscent of the Happy Merchant cartoon. For further clarity, the creative author added the Star of David as a strange waistband to depicted figure. That's an excellent painting. Oh, so God, the order of this is just terrible. Okay, you have the Jew behind the curtain, and then they mention the Happy Merchant, and then that's the next slide. Why would you not show this first? Like, if you're gonna, like, this should be categorized. It's like they just added it in the order that they saw it, like when they were doing their research. The Happy Merchant is a well-known anti-Semitic cartoon depicting a Jewish man with an exaggerated facial features, hooked nose, kippah, greedily rubbing his hands together. The stereotype of a Jew being crooked and greedy dates back to the Middle Ages, to middle-aged money lending, and has fueled multiple conspiracy theories and extremist ideologies such as the Protocols of Elder Zion, the Eternal Jew, New World Order, and Zionist occupation government. Okay. Prussian blue. That doesn't even make any sense. IG Farben, Prussian blue. The blue, oh, blue the Jew. Okay, so they make him blue because it's Prussian blue. I got you. I figured it out. I figured it out. They Photoshop him blue. Uh, Hebrew nonsense. uh, I know what this is. This is funny. Yeah, I guess you could plug this into an AI and filter it out. Chewbacca. Chewbacca, a portmanteau of Jew and Chewbacca, referring to the popular, is used pejoratively to refer to a hairy Jewish man or woman. T-shirts, party costumes, bro. That is not anti-Semitic. It's like I told people this story, but I remember when I was in Ukraine, in Odessa, where I was from, there was a lot of Jews there, and they had a big synagogue on one of the streets, and oftentimes I'd see Jews with like the big hat and the curly things by their ears, and I saw a little kid who was wearing, the hat and had the curls, and he was wearing a shirt that said Pikachu, and it's like, that he finds it funny because he's a Jew and he likes Pokemon. Like that's not offensive. If you're a Jew and you like Starbucks or Star Wars, then you might wear Chewbacca. That's not saying like, oh, he's a hairy Jew. That's like I'm just waiting for the Pikachu slide where they're like, the Pikachu Pokemon is an electric rat type, which refers to the electric pince meme and the dehumanization meme of referring to Jews as animals like rats. It's like, no, it's just like a funny joke. Like, I'm just imagining like the AI gets plugged in as like a filter, and then all these Jewish guys that had pictures of them wearing Chewbacca t-shirts are suddenly banned because they accidentally were anti-Semitic. No, this is the $50 meme where it gets higher over time or lower over time. Nazi anime. Oh, jeez. I'm for banning this. We need to rally around and ban all the anime avatars. Some film critics have noted a troubling relationship between anime. Then they explain what anime is, where characters can sometimes be seen wearing military uniforms reminiscent of Nazi attire. The proposed relationship has also drawn sharp criticism, and the original sci-fi article is no longer online. However, anime characters are notably present in fascist memes, and trolls that post them sometimes use Mo avatars, i.e., pictures of cute, innocent-looking anime girls, perhaps as a tactic to make their profiles look more naive. That is bizarre. There's a bounding into comics link here. What the fuck? Isn't that like a thing like Ricada doesn't like or does like or something? Anime Gate is here. Sci-fi decries anime, linking it to fascism. Good. Fuck them. Kali Yuga. Oh, okay. This Hindu reference is a fucking Nazi meme. Okay, I got you. I mean, like Kali Yuga has been going on since like 4000 BC, right? Isn't it like a 6,000 year cycle? I don't know. I don't like any fucking shit like Julius Evola in Hinduism. Julius Evola also talks about Kali Yuga and shit. It's just like, I'm not like a spiritual person. I think that's fucking stupid. Nazi propaganda, and then it's just literally just propaganda posters from the Second World War. That's bizarre. Why are they making him fat? I don't know. It's like they're reconstructing him in 3D. Ik kom terug. Why is this in Dutch? I need this translated. I do not speak fucking Dutch. An amateur deepfake of a black and white photo of Adolf Hitler mouthing racist remarks in Dutch and threatening violence against brown monkeys, i.e., people of color. Thanks, I never would have figured that out. I thought they were just trying to kill monkeys. I thought Hitler was in that monkey torture group for a second. It can be expected that we will witness a surge of AI being weaponized for hostile propaganda purposes. For example, depicting world leaders mouthing important false statements using technology that will make it impossible to separate fake from real statements. While the EU is introducing new legislation to curb malicious AI, other geopolitical power players care very little about such ethical concerns. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I believe that. I believe that deepfake is going to get to such a level that you're not going to be able to figure out anything. You won't be able to figure out if anything is true anymore. You will have lifelike, photorealistic, 100% fictitious videos of everybody saying everything. And there will be no way whatsoever to verify if that's true or not. And we're just going to have this information overload and no way to tell what the fuck is actually going on anymore. And we'll all have to communicate by GPG signed emails or something, and everything video and audio is just fake. Third Reich Berlin. This image circulates on Gab and 4chan's a 1960s exemplary model of a high-tech, well-organized Germanic society, and the vision of Albert Speer could look like. So this is just Berlin if it was not a giant shithole. Fashwave. Yeah, whatever. That's cringe. This is just 1488. It's not like a meme. That's been around for fucking forever. The Black Sun. Yeah, Nordic Pagan LARP is also cringe. You can ban that. Plug that shit into a fucking AI filter. I don't care. The Reichsadler. Mina era heist Troya. The Reichsadler Imperial Eagle is a heraldic symbol. You know, I'm very impressed that they decided to translate Reich as Imperial, because usually they always just say Reich Eagle. But I know that the Reich has been a thing since the Holy Roman Empire. Most people just use that as like a Nazi word. But then again, they're Belgian, so they know the difference. Is a heraldic eagle derived from the Roman eagle empire used as a national emblem by Nazi Germany. Note that the eagle looks to the right. I did not know this. If the eagle looks to its right, it is the Reich Adler, and when it looks to the left, it is the Partei Adler used by the Nazi Party. Because displaying the accompanying swastika in the symbol might be illegal, the swastika is often replaced with the Roman emblematic SPQR in tattoos. What's this picture of the little girl? That's stupid. Oh, that's cool. Is that real? That gun? That's awesome. National Socialist black metal. Yeah, that's also cringe. Skull mask. The ghost skull balaclava has its root in military culture and related online gaming, like Call of Duty. You can buy it on Amazon. I think they just put way too much thought into shit. Adam Waffen division is fucking glowy. I think the leader is in jail now for like swatting and shit. Was established. I don't know. Last seen on Telegram circa 2019. Okay. Far right extremist stickers. Collection of stickers found in far right extremist Telegram channels. Okay. They're just pictures of, yeah. These are all different symbols. Me, me, me. Oh no! The Muppets are fascist too now. Beaker is a shy, nervous Muppet character that only communicates in high-pitched squeaking sounds like me, 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 me. The character is portrayed as an academic lab assistant with bulging eyes and shock of red hair who attracts failed experiments. Beaker's gifts are frequently used as a conversation stopper by far right, as a representation of perceived, naive, effeminate, whiny, left-wing arguments, with the unspoken message that the target author is a shy, nervous, weaselly wimp, in contrast to the far-right speakers who deliver their difficult truths boldly, plainly, and confidently. The message is very effective in its simplicity. That's new to me. American History accent, just Photoshop and curb stomping whoever. I mean, they Photoshop a lot more than like that though. Okay, this is a good one. If you're gonna put together like a document of things to look out for like extremists, like this is like a subtle call to violence, the gun loading thing. A popular tactic often used by populist leaders to repost violence or videos of outrageous aggression, such as an elderly person being harassed on public transport or a schoolgirl being beaten up outside a train station. Typically without context, but without context by a beastly group or horde of immigrants or people of color, encouraging indigenous, hardworking, and upstanding white followers to judge for themselves. Yeah, that's a very effective tactic to. Is that also a hate meme? Just posting news clips? Often the footage is outdated, has been debunked, or originates from another country. Heated reactions often include GIF images of a firearm being loaded by vengeful action hero John Wick, accompanied by slogans such as "There is only one solution: destroy the vermin," etc., seemingly with the aim to incite violence. Look at this. Look at how terrible this layout is. Smoking a fag. So it's like one joke that they found that was violent that they wanted to, and it's not even like a violent meme. It's just a pun, but they had to make this like a full page in their fucking document. I guess they had to have it over 100 pages for whatever reason, and then they didn't know what else to put in here. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, do with the banana and put like a carton of cigarettes here, and then do that? Like, let's just blur it out like this, so it looks like the arm holding the gun is 8 feet long. It's like a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man is holding the gun at the gay guy. Seen on Gab. Hashtag shitpost. And it's just a picture of Brenton Tarrant's guns. Okay. Cool. Taliban hipsters. Okay, this is interesting. When the Taliban seized control of Afghanistan in 2021, following a hasty withdrawal of U.S. military according to a peace agreement by the Trump administration, they have to clarify. They have to clarify that Joe Biden was only doing what Trump already agreed to do, and it's Trump's fault. They quickly adopted a more liberal stance to social media coverage, perhaps sensing its marketing value. Taliban fighters could be seen in photos somewhat in awe of the advancements made in the capital city in the past 20 years, delighting in ice cream snacks, bumper cars, laptops, etc. This has led to ridicule on social media, where the fighters are compared to fashionable hipsters based on the similarities between well-kept long beards, elaborate mustaches, and glasses. Mix and match colorful clothing and scarves and an interest in technologies that are now considered retro chic. What the fuck does this have to do with anything? So it's hate speech? Are they like defending the Taliban? Saying, oh, you can't make fun of the Taliban for looking like hipsters. That's hate speech. Literally, in the context of like an AI filter, what is being banned here? Because apparently it's not the Taliban. Oh, they've explained the coconut emoji, and they had no idea what to do for the coconut emoji because they probably saw it one fucking time. A Muslim that rejects Islam, apostate, is called a murtad, which in Salafi jihadist ideology is as grave as a kufr, being rafida. Okay, I'm so glad I have to learn this shit just to to understand European culture now. Or being a moderate Muslim, i.e., a hypocrite. All of them are mushrik who commit shirks. Okay. The unforgivable sin of worshipping false idols or many gods, since one of the fundamental tenets, adikha, is that there is only one God and his prophet is Muhammad. Cf. Tawhid. Investigated by a history of violent crusades and U.S. repression, jihadists in short regard. Oh, it's America's fault again. America and everyone has bullied the poor innocent Muslim. And now when they see Mutrad Rafida Kafir in Europe, they just have to kill them because it's so embarrassing to them. Originating in Islamic State propaganda, one metaphor used to designate Muslim rejectionists or moderates is coconut, brown skin on the outside but white inside. The recent coconut emoji, in combination with words such as mutrad or shirk on social media, often signals content with extremist worldviews. So we have to be careful of ISIS hate memes too, because the ISIS also exist in Europe and in America, and we have to make sure that we can recognize Islamic State extremist ideology memes. ISIS black flag. That's actually banned in Germany along with the swastika flag. Fun fact. Islamic State propaganda poster, whatever. Raise index feature. In Islam, the raise index. It's so funny when you compare, like, because there is a genuine concern in Europe, like, about dealing with, and in the U.S., dealing with ISIS propaganda. That was a huge deal. You had ISIS soliciting overseas donations to the tunes of millions of dollars through online publications, YouTube video advertisements, Facebook posts. Like, they had this whole thing set up to attract the attention of Muslims to donating to their cause and supporting their uprising in Syria. So, the U.S. didn't want to, is telling tech companies you have to do something with ISIS funding their movement through online social media. So that became like the first thing. We need to censor social media to stop genuine terrorists from being able to solicit money from wealthier Western nations. And it's hilarious to see people who behead people, film themselves beheading people, set people on fire, drown people, actual terrorists that are a military insurgent threat, killing and raping people and destroying historic monuments, side by side with, the guys on Twitter who are like 1488 white women are the most beautiful women ever, and who have never hurt anybody, whose like sole militant action was fucking Brenton Tarrant, and none of the people posting the 1488 should even believe that Brenton Tarrant was like a genuine white nationalist. They all think he's like a CIA federal operative trying to make them look bad. Meanwhile, the Muslims are putting out videos of them decapitating people with dull knives, and they're just like, yeah, this is Allahu Akbar as fuck, my brother, in Islam. So silly. Raise index finger. You know what that means. Oh, here we go. Direct comparison. Bam. This is hard hitting. The raise index finger used by ISIS when they talk, when they salute each other, and then the emoji, which may be used by ISIS supporters on the internet. Remember that these guys fucking murder and rape and torture and kill and burn alive and drown. And then we have down here the American extremists with the OK hand sign. This guy right here, this commando in his operation gear with the American flag thing, that guy unhinged as fuck. You don't even know how many black children he's ground up into pepperoni in his basement. Proud Boys. I've never even heard of the fucking Proud Boys. Like, I mean, I've heard of them, but only from the left. I've never heard of anything. I've never seen anything they've ever done, like, promoted on the internet. They're some of the worst social media promoters possible, if that's what they're trying to do, because only the left talks about them. 6 million. That's funny. The Boogaloo Boys. Oh no. Boogaloo Boys is a U.S. militia situated in far-right political spectrum. The movement is regarded as being anti-government, pro-gun, seeking to incite a second civil war, and inclined to neo-Nazi white supremacist ideology. The idea of a new civil war erupting in the U.S. The Boogaloo originates from the 1984 movie Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. Ugh, that's silly. These people aren't going to do shit. They're on fucking Discord. The Yes Chad. Now here we have the apex of the Nazi memes. Yes Chad, also known as Nordic Gamer, and uses the same graphical style as the Nordic Mediterranean memes. The depicted face is often, the Nordic Mediterranean memes came from this. The profile face is often wearing a headset and or accompanied by a yes caption. Chad is a term used in toxic masculinity movements. I know that. Who fucking wrote this one? I guarantee it wasn't the guys. To describe an alpha male, a player, sports jock, etc., that is sexually attractive and socially successful. Yes, Chad has blonde hair and blue eyes, and he is cool and self-confident and brushes off complex, whiny, ethical, and societal dilemmas with a strong and simple yes, no, or so what. Yes, Chad has better things to do. I'm sorry, but Sylvia Jockey, you sound like you're attracted to the Yes Chad meme, and if this guy asked you out, you would be all for him. This does not explain why this is a hate meme. This does not explain if it should be banned or not, or what. It's just like this guy is so fucking cool. Oh, here we go. This has a second page dedicated to it. So because there's so many. Learn the difference. It could save your life. Nordic. Oh, this is Nordic Mediterranean. So again, they reference something that they explain afterwards. Strain of meanings can have two meanings. On one hand, it is used to reveal differences between races where social behavior is associated with ethnicity. On the other hand, it is used to promote unity between European ethnicities. I have your back, you have mine. Okay. Whatever. The Doomer meme. Why was this a hate meme? Oh, the Doomer is tied to the incel movement. A subculture of young men that believe that 20% of successful males get all the pussy, while 80% of the men are left scrambling for the 20% of ugly chicks left. Doomers represent young people that have simply given up on society and are hence prone to radicalization. The memes often appear in discussions on depression, mental health, and drug addiction. Coomer? The Oomer memes. Coomer is a derogatory name given to someone who follows and believes the QN conspiracies. I mean, their only citation for this is Urban Dictionary. This does not exist outside of. This is such a shitty, incoherent slide. I'm just imagining, 70-year-old. What's a good German name? Hans. I always want to say Hans Zimmer. That's always my go-to German name. But that's like a real guy. He's like a composer for movies. Whatever. Klaus Schwab or whatever. He's watching this and he's thinking like, what the fuck is this? Are they asking me for money? Am I supposed to sign a check? Am I supposed to be afraid of this? What the fuck? Why does this guy have a mushroom for a head? What threat does this pose to me as the leader of the WEF? And then number 77 is just called racist hate memes. And it's like, you would assume that would cover everything, right? Like everything is a racist hate meme in this book. Isn't that the point? Nicer, Chad. Adding coolant when farm equipment overheats. Two target groups that come up in racist memes particularly often are people of color and or people from Muslim countries. A considerable proportion of these memes address the impact of refugees on Western society. Tend to depict refugees as hordes of uncultivated black people forcing their way into the West without any value to the job market unless it's hard physical work for people of color. Whatever. Rapefugees. Rapefugees not welcome. It's a bit self-explanatory. Anti-feminist hate memes. See, this one's not the one that they use in the background is not even anti-feminist. It's anti-new feminist. Oh, I guess they're saying that after feminism, I don't know. Everybody dressed better in the 1940s. You compare how guys dressed in the 1940s, and now you also look bad. This one says kill all women, but he has a woman on a leash. Is he supposed to be killing her? Why is she on a leash if he's supposed to be killing her? They have used this picture of this guy playing football in like 8 different slides without any context of what the fuck it means. I don't know what see. This is my point about Sylvia Jackie really liking the Chad meme because she just wants to put because he looks so much like the yes guy. She just wants to put his picture everywhere. She probably has it framed on her desk. Diversity degenerates. Attacking diversity through memes typically relies on a few core ridiculing and dehumanizing techniques. 1. All proponents of diversity are criminal activist rioters. 2. All female proponents are masculine, ugly, violent, and hysterical. All male proponents are effeminate, slow, degenerates. 4. They are all overweight, and unclean. 5. They are all sad and have colorfully dyed hair. Okay. Memes will focus on selecting pictures from protest events and singling out individuals. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that the meme is not dehumanizing people. The meme is that they don't look human. Like the people in this picture, this one's Photoshop, by the way. Ben Franklin's head is not that big. They didn't find the original. They didn't even notice that he has an egg head. That's completely fake. It's like that's just how they look. They don't look human because they don't look human. Alt woke refers to a convoluted PDF manifesto circulated in left-wing artistic circles where the author, anonymous, envisions identitarian ties to the alt-right while at the same time opposing it, promoting a cathedral to and positing weird ideas about entropic AI and violent street protests as long as they highlight a failure of the state's end. They can't even adequately explain what the fuck this means because it's like bullshit. Someone made this for fun and then they took it and they put it into their hate memes document. Meme, I was transgender before it was cool, and it's a picture of Satan because Satan's often depicted as both male and female. A slur for transgender people depicted Baphomet, a mythical satanic hermaphrodite deity that was part man, woman, goat, and was allegedly worshipped by the Knights of Templar. I bet you fucking money, if I go to Google and I type in, I was transgender before it was cool. I want to point out that the font used in this poster, I'm pretty sure is the Jurassic Park font. I bet you I can find a trans person wearing this. No, if I type in the words, I'm going to try Bing in the index just to make sure. But I didn't even see this picture. Yeah, they sell it on t-shirts. If I go to Bing and I type in, I was transgender before it was cool, I see nothing but fucking t-shirts for sale with this exact image. The pictures on Google are very confusing. They definitely have some kind of filter on that to make it not return any useful information. And then the index results kind of suck. It's just trans before and after pictures. I'm just saying, I know at least one trans person who would wear this shirt unironically. Autistic Screeching Ree. Also called Ree, this meme features an what the fuck? An ululating? Ululating. That is not a word. Ululating. Howl or wail as an expression of strong emotion, typically grief. Huh. Even though it is not the original autistic screeching name, Ree is often construed as that. Well, without doubt, the reference to autism in combination with uncontrolled screeching is also extremely offensive to people on the spectrum. I'll give you a hint, bro. The guy that makes these kinds of memes are also autistic. They get a pass. Triggered. This well-known meme depicts an outraged woman in its original form discussing with a pro-Trump protester. Since then, it has been incessantly reused as a template with wide variety of accompanying derogatory slogans to mock feminists and to demonstrate how left-wing activists are easily unhinged, hysterical, and volatile. Typically, far-right supporters will respond with comments such as based, owned, exposed, and take gleeful pride in triggering their opponents into powerful emotions which they consider to be a weakness, as opposed to reality where it's actually their strength. Happy Pride Month, and this is a gay guy being thrown off a building in some shithole country. So this is, I mean, I guess this is like an example of why they need AI to read between the lines. It's not ISIS, it's a militant jihadist supporter. However, on closer inspection, the rainbow flag is overlaid with a well-known Islamic State photo of a man accused of homosexuality being thrown off a building in Fallujah, falling to his death in 2015. As such, this extremely cruel meme uses deception as a strategy, hoping to be reshared by actual members of the LGBT community, after which they can be publicly ridiculed with new hate memes. A similar deception strategy was used for Go Bald for BLM campaign organized on 4chan by neo-Nazis encouraging Black Lives Matter to shave their heads. E.g., hijacking short-haired Emma Watson photos. What the fuck are they talking about? This is like literally made. No person on this planet will see this picture and think for a fucking nanosecond that it is positive towards the LGBT. A man is being thrown off a roof by armed jihadists. This is immediately obvious to fucking anyone. And nobody felt, there is no deception here. It's just a joke. It's highlighting the fundamental discrepancy between the Muslim people that are coming in as immigrants into the West and the gay people, which are like a protected class. You have like most of the new anti-Semitism and homophobia in Europe comes from the Muslim immigrants who fucking hate Jews and gay people a lot. Like that, there's no, like, that's the joke. They should pay me. I will fucking explain to you what the memes mean. Okay, I'll help the EC out and actually tell them what the fuck this shit means. I accept payment in the form of silver, and nothing else. Burn pride flags. Anti-LGBTQ hate memes. Burn pride flags, but L is silent. Oh, burn pride fags, I see. Cynically, anti-LGBT memes rely heavily on using a reappropriated rainbow flag, which is in fact a sign of tolerance towards the community. The use is therefore subversive. There is nothing subversive about this. I really don't understand, like, how they think just using the flag is is supposed to be like endorsing it, because that's not true at all. You like, I don't know. It's really bizarre. You have to be Antwerpen to understand this. Particularly absurd given the promotion of violence, whatever. It's stupid. Proud Boys USA. Why is this in all caps? This is the only one in all caps. Hashtag Proud Boys USA is a hashtag used on social media to refer to the Proud Boys, as in Proud Boys USA. These fine patriots deserve all the love and praise for kicking those scum out of Washington. It has been hijacked by the LGBT community, sporting their iconic rainbow flag and two roosters kissing as logo, posting messages such as, "We are pretty open about our love for cock." Okay. And they dedicated a whole page to this. Vladolf Putler. This is like, I'm losing my fucking mind. Like, how did what the fuck is, like, there's two different, this is wrong. There's two different memes here. There's memes of Putin as a gay clown, which comes from before the Ukrainian war, and then they're after the Ukrainian war. They started calling him Hitler and photoshopping a mustache on him. He was not a gay clown Hitler. He was. Those are completely separate criticisms. Vladolf Putler is a neologism that became popular on social media during the Russian-Ukraine conflict in 2014, but originally dates back to 2009. The slogan is often accompanied by Photoshop blends of Putin and Hitler. Yeah, I get that. Putin is a gay clown, which is essentially sexist in nature, but reappropriated by the LGBT community. The way they have to, like, explain, how is that sexist? I don't understand. Putin is a gay clown is essentially sexist in nature, but because the gay people are saying it, it's reappropriated. This is fucking nuts. This is mental illness at this point. Whataboutism. Whataboutism refers to a logical fallacy that attempts to anecdotally discredit opposing views as hypocritical without refusing their argument. When successful, it grounds the perception that all ideological sides are without moral high ground, justifying the instigators to step up. For example, whataboutism has been used as a political strategy during the Russian-Ukraine war to discredit NATO's scrambling attempts to assist Ukraine while avoiding escalation between nuclear weapon states. Some of the arguments include that NATO has willingly and forcefully intervened in Arab regions but not in Ukraine, or paradoxically, that it has been willing to support Ukraine while turning a blind eye to Arab regions, or that NATO has been inciting aggression by slowly expanding into Eastern Europe, or paradoxically, that its members promote a weak, woke, effeminate worldview with no place in a geopolitical power game. The issue with this is that all those points are true. The U.S. is a warmonger, completely and totally. So then when Russia uh, uses military power to promote its agenda, then NATO says, "Oh my God, this is so bad. I can't believe that you've done this." It's like that. Yeah, that is hypocritical. And then there is no paradox here, though. Like, it's fair to point out that the U.S. is willing to put all this work in to help Ukraine, and probably because Ukraine is a white country, ostensibly. Whereas they would not care that much about someplace like Myanmar or whatever. You know, there's all sorts of little civil wars going on that we don't send weapons to like we do with Ukraine. Uh, these people don't understand is that the status quo sucks. And they seem to think that the status quo is, as they put it, a delicate balancing act that must be maintained for the greater good. But in actuality, it's really evil. The status quo is evil and malicious and wants to develop AI to spy on people and track everything that everybody says. And it cannot be trusted and should not be trusted, but they don't understand that. So when they see conflicting things that are discrediting their, the opinions, they get upset about them. Cyberfront Z, this looks like fucking nonsense, is a Russian troll factory on Telegram with 65,000 followers that was exposed in April 22 from disseminating information about the Russian-Ukraine war. It could spread about 20,000 false messages on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube in a matter of hours. Popular visual motives include the use of the letter Z. Okay, whatever. During the onset of the Russian-Ukrainian war, a number of documented Russian military vehicles ran out of gas or got stuck, and Ukrainian farmers would deploy farming tractors sarcastically to tow them back to Russia. What the fuck is the point of this? I really don't understand what they're trying to convince me of here. Should we ban Ukrainian tractors? Kekistan is a fictional company invented on and analogous to 4chan, inhabited by Kekistanis or shitposters who worship the god Kek and his prophet Pepe the Frog. The word Kek originates from the video game World of Warcraft, where good humans, elves, and dwarves battle bad orcs and trolls, which can all be players or AI controlled. When a virtual elf talks to a virtual orc, the language of the orcs will appear unintelligible, and when an elf player dies at the hands of an orc, the last thing they will see is often Kek, which is orcish for lol. This is bizarre. And this is like not hate at all. Like the Kekistan people are like retard centrists who vaguely support Trump, I guess. It's an allusion to Great Replacement. Okay, whatever. Xenophobia is a strong blah blah blah. The common white man could speak out plainly about violent nigger gangs and faggot bitches threatening the traditional order. This image is one example of the 2021 alt-right propaganda. It shows Pepe the Frog spreading tentacles across the world, which is an NWO dog whistle. That is not that is literally a U.S. Patch. Nothing is beyond our reach. Are they going to explain that? No, they're not. This is a real thing that the U.S. Uses in NROL 39. I cannot remember the story behind this. NRO 39 is an American reconnaissance satellite operated by the National Reconnaissance Office. The USA 247 launch received a relatively high level of press coverage with the mission's choice of logo, which depicts an octopus. There are anti-Semitic, the octopus has been used throughout propaganda history. The octopus has been used to represent Germany, to represent the United States, to represent Jewish banking, to represent Japan during the Second World War when they were in the Pacific Islands. It has been used to represent literally everything for hundreds of years. And it's extremely bizarre to take this, which is a direct, mock-up of this patch, and say that it's anti-Semitic because of the NWO dog whistle, when it's not. Like, Pepe is not Jewish, I'm pretty sure. He's not part of the NWO. Swastika is a tyranny dog whistle. A swastika is not a dog whistle. A swastika is like a megaphone. There's no subtlety there. An ominous "nothing is beyond our reach" slogan. It's unclear exactly what is beyond reach or who exactly is to blame. It's essentially just a cool Pepe with a swastika and squid, which is enough to further ignite already disgruntled voices caught in a web of NWO conspiracies. It's literally a meme. It's a meme of a patch of an octopus. They don't even know. They don't even know what the fuck this means. They have no idea what the history of this is. They have no idea what's being displayed here. They just see swastika and they go, oh my god, I have to put this in our bullshit hand guide. No, Apu isn't hate. Apu is the opposite of hate. Apu Apustaya, helper, is a poorly drawn variation of Pepe the Frog. The Spurto... Okay, they're saying what Spurto is. The Pepe variation exploits this innocent-looking, more sensitive, and more clumsy childlike aesthetic to disguise and normalize extremist viewpoints. Victimized Apu can be seen wearing a Jewish kippah with a sad facial expression or carrying a bloody knife with "I didn't have any other choice" body poster, for example. Completely unhinged analysis of Apu. That is so bizarre. Like, look, there's Apu. Like, none of these are hateful at all. Wojak. I wish I was at home. Wojak is used to express emotions such as weakness, loneliness, melancholy, or regret, which the far right often associates with left-wing political spectrum. It constitutes a rudimentary drawing in black lines on a white background. Usually only the head is shown, cropped out. The character is also known as the overly emotional feels guy as a meme. It is often accompanied by the phrase, "I know that feel, bro. I wish I was at home." I mean, like, Wojak just shows like what you're feeling. It's just like a caricature of your feeling. It has nothing to do with extremism at all. NPC meme. The meme is derived from the... Yes, okay, I know that. Is used the same visual characteristics like Wojak, crude outlines. In practice, the character is used by both far left and far right to ridicule one another. They don't explain why it's a variation. It's a Wojak who doesn't have feelings, so he just thinks whatever he's told. I feel like if you were a boomer and you were trying to understand this shit, you would have no fucking idea after reading this. You would just be lost. The debunker. The 45-year-old premature debunker. Debunker is a variation of Wojak, tied to the 20S election. Features a person assumed to be debunking this information, surrounded by sarcastic slogans such as "Lots of friends, all of which secretly can't stand him, can stuff hundreds of ballots an hour." Debunks without hesitation. Debunks evidence before it's released. Descends into gibberish when debunks don't work. And seen on 8kun. I mean, they also, like... I feel like a retard having to explain this. The joke is that people, like the authors of this document, believe that high quality education is the cure to all of our societal woes. And then the meme here is that anyone using these verified good, high quality education sources are fucking retard troglodytes who just echo, "No, actually, I thought on PolitiFact, though it's not true. Not true." The bloomer is an optimistic and quiet person, perhaps an adolescent male that has trouble talking to women, and generally someone that trolls would scorn. I really don't understand. What is the point of this? To keep enjoying the virtual world, they deny the harsh reality. One can take the blue pill. Taking the red pill means rejecting from the virtual world and accepting the dreary conditions that humanity is in. In alt-right circles, red pilling consequently means bombarding perceived naive people or sheeple with extremist views to make them see that survival is only for the fittest. As a variation of the movie trope, the black pill in misogynist circles represents fatalism, depression, and violence. In the boomer meme, the blue pill character wears the blue hoodie. whether by intention or not. No, that is not what that means at all. That's just wrong. The bloomer is just someone who's found happiness. It has nothing to do with politics or pills or whatever the fuck. They're trying to write this out like one of their Harry Potter stories where everything has to tie in neatly with each other and they can't just represent abstract feelings. The King. The JetBlue racist Burger King meme from 4chan refers to a 2020 incident on a JetBlue flight where a confused and aggressive passenger wearing a paper Burger King crown shouted racial slurs. Hence, the man has been caricatured as a far-right folk hero called the King and used as the far-right dog whistle with meme variations such as crown-wearing Pepe, reappropriation of the crown emoji, reappropriated Burger King crown, and the side of alt-right allegiance. The heck out of their whole thing, it's like, this is probably one of the best examples, because like their AI that they're pitching to the EC should be like dog whistles. Like the Burger King crown used in this context is like a racist thing, and it's like when you post this, you're identifying something racist. So as far as like a hate meme goes, like yeah, this is like something subtle that you would have to understand. Remove kebab versus Serbian anti-Muslim propaganda video. That is not true. It is not a Serbian anti-Muslim propaganda music video. It is a people performing a song called "God is a Serb," and it was from the Yugoslav wars, but it's not anti-Muslim. Song has been adopted by the remove kebab thing is like a joke about the Yugoslav civil war, but that's not what the song is about. A social media user calling himself remover of kebab posted a video of a man performing the last stand with firearms while his opponents shoot needles at him, which is a reference to forced vaccination. The post is accompanied with hashtags police, secret service, and hashtag Jews. Okay. So remove kebab, hashtag Jews. Remove kebab, hashtag Jews. Not hashtag Islam or whatever. Hashtag Jews. Okay, sure. And this seems like completely unrelated galleries of memes. Completely distinct from each other. And that's it. That's how it ends. No summary. My thought is that okay, it is. It's 100. So the reason why all there's so many pages of just like shitty like one picture memes is because they wanted to get to 100, nice round number, and they couldn't come up with 100, so they just bullshitted it. I think that this is a lazy cash grab. I think that they are trying to get money for their text gain AI filtering. They want this. What they want is, for instance, in the U.S., they were going to try and pass legislation that removes Section 230 protection unless you use what they considered best practice moderation tools. And I guarantee you that there is an active effort in the EU right now to have it so that any social media platform, no matter how big or small, must subscribe to an EU certified hate speech filter. And these people want to be in on the ground floor. So they put together this big pile of shit. And they said, look, we are experts. We have 3 people with PhDs in machine learning and social scientists and whatever the fuck from prestigious Ivy League universities in Europe. And we know what's going on. We're young, and we want to put together a machine learning program to filter out the internet. And what's really scary about that is that, number one, it will happen. I guarantee you the EU is going to pass legislation this decade to force social media companies to filter their posts using some kind of tool like this. And what's more scary is that the people who are pitching to do this, like these guys, have vaguely the faintest fucking idea what they're talking about. They have no idea why things are popular, why they spread, what message they're trying to convey, how they interact with each other, what people are trying to express when they post something. Like, they just see that something like Apu is popular on 4chan, and they think, oh, this is inherently like a racist thing because it's on 4chan. And it's like, no, like the reason why people like him is because he is so naive and there's no political slant to it, and he's not ruined like Pepe is by the fucking Trump people. It's completely different. Like he exists in opposition of how Pepe is used normally, but they don't get that. They just see that it's popular, and there are some variations that have like a Hitler stash, and they think, oh, this is alt-right extremism. Very, very. It is kind of like alarming in a way, where it's like these are the people that the government of Europe is going to trust with determining what is and is not allowed speech, or are this woman and this dude who can't even show his fucking face, and they're this is like a joke. He posts this picture of like a tire that has like a swastika in it, and it says nobody, and then extremism researchers swastika. Like, yeah, that's you. That is literally you. Your fucking pamphlet that you put out that you sold to the EC is exactly that. It's truly, truly bewildering. Europeans suck. That's my conclusion to my essay here. No, it is just a scam. It's just like, oh, they need ML. They want ML. They don't know what it is. They just know that there's like an automated way to like filter shit, and I bet you we can sell them some pile of fucking garbage and make billions of dollars from doing it. So very cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Belgium, for your contributions to society. That one fucked me up too. The nothing is beyond our reach thing. Like how do you know this? How do you write a fucking essay on memes and see this and then immediately say, oh, this is like an anti-Jew thing because it's like an octopus, and then not know that it's literally a parody of an actual thing? There are people in the U.S. government who wore this patch on their fucking uniform because they were a part of this organization, and that's what it's a parody of. It's just so bizarre, man. And by the way, it was explicit, like it caught a lot of national attention because the tentacle that is in the frame, it's not Europe. They put the swastika on, I guess it's like Belarus. No, that's like on Moscow. But here it's like the tentacle is over Russia and China and the Middle East, over Iran too. So it's like all American enemies that this spy satellite would be surveilling on has been hit by this tentacle, and it's like it's so jingoistic in what it's saying that it's kind of shocking. But no, it's they don't know what it means. It's just so confusing. Why use Pepe an octopus? We need more money for our research program to figure out why Pepe is an octopus here. Bullshit. Oh well. I hope you guys have found this at least somewhat entertaining. I found that their lack of hesitance to start saying slurs in it was very funny, and it gave me an opportunity to scream racial profanity yet again. I thought it was incredibly lazy and ill-informed, and often just very wrong. And I might buy the paperback version because I want it on my bookshelf. I want to carry it with me as a memoir of the good old days. And yeah, have a nice Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.